So welcome to my channel. So here is a problem which has the potential to teach you many things. This problem relates to electrostatic, the chapter of electrostatics, the chapter of fluid mechanics, and the chapter of thermodynamics. So this problem is rich in concept. All right. So the problem is in front of you. Read the question, get a feel of it, and we'll solve it together. All right. So here, what is the question? A soap bubble of radius capital R, surface tension T, exists in a equilibrium in vacuum. All right. A monatomic gas is trapped inside the soap bubble. Charge Q is given to the bubble such that bubble expands. Bubble expands from radius R to 2R. Under adiabatic condition, under what condition? Adiabatic condition. So you must be remembering the adiabatic formulas. All right. So if the surface charge density sigma on the surface is found to be this particular value root 15 E naught T by nr, then find the value of n. So this is what the question is asking, to calculate the value of n here. So first of all, this question, in order to solve this question, you should have clear concepts of surface tension, you should have clear concepts of excess pressure, you should have clear concepts of electrostatic pressure. So there is already a chapter, electrostatic pressure session, already there on my channel, so you can go there and you can learn the electrostatic pressure and then come back to this problem and then solve it. All right. So, and you should also know the concept of adiabatic change, adiabatic process. So read the question and try to get it like what it is asking, and then like imagine it in your brain and then go for the solution. Okay, so let's solve now. So I'm splitting my screen. So in front of you, you are seeing the question as well, and I hope the question is very clear to you and very visible. So initially there is a initial pressure P1, and that is balanced by the surface tension. So this is a bubble. So how many surfaces are there in the bubble? Of course there are two surfaces. So there are two surfaces. So surface tension will be according to the two surface. So in the fluid chapter I have already told you that there is a concept of effective area. So P1 pressure is acting on an effective area of pi r square, and that is that this force due to pressure P1 is balanced by the surface tension which is acting on two surfaces. It's acting on two surfaces, and that can be written as 2 into T into 2 pi r. That can be written as 2 into T into 2 pi r. So we'll get the value of P1 here. We'll get the value of P1 comes out to be 4T by R. So we have got the value of P1 in terms of surface tension. Now what the question is saying, that a charge is placed on the surface of this bubble, due to which the bubble expands adiabatically to reach a radius of 2r. So let's say after putting the Q charge on the surface of the bubble, the surface charge density becomes sigma. All right. Now what are the forces that will figure out? So there will be a pressure P2, P1 will change to P2 adiabatically. So P2 will have a force we'll use the effective area again pi r square, but r has become 2r, so we'll use 2r, so the net effective area will be 4 pi r square. Are you getting me or not? The another pressure will come from electrostatic pressure. So see, this is the beauty of this question, many things are involved. So sigma square upon 2 epsilon naught is the electrostatic pressure, that will be multiplied with again the effective area, that is 4 pi r square, and these two forces due to the pressure of P2 and due to the electrostatic pressure will be balanced by again surface tension, and that will be again T into, for two surfaces it will be 2 into 2 pi r and radius will be 2r. So net will be net will come out to be 8t pi r. 8t pi r will be balancing the force due to P2 and force due to electrostatic pressure. Everything is crystal clear till now. So let's solve it a bit and write the next equation with the help of thermodynamics adiabatic process. All right, so since the bubble has changed its size from r to 2r to a radius, and that too through an adiabatic process. So we know that for an adiabatic process PV की power gamma, PV to the power gamma is constant, and gamma here will be 1 plus 2 by f. This is from thermodynamics. So what is the gas, what is the type of gas? You can see in the question the type of gas is a monoatomic gas, and for that the degree of freedom is 3. So gamma is equal to 1 plus 2 by f. F is here the degree of freedom. So put the 3 value there. So what the gamma would come out to be? Gamma is a Poisson's ratio. So gamma would come out to be 5 by 3. I've done a mistake there. I'll correct it like in a few steps. So the gamma is 5 by 3. Gamma is 5 by 3. So let's use this gamma in the adiabatic equation that I have used, that I have written for the process of expansion. So PV to the power gamma is equal to constant. Initial the volume was 4 by 3 pi r cube. So accordingly mathematics has been done here, and that will be equal to P2 into the final volume. So that is 4 by 3 pi 8 r cube, or like, all right. So radius has increased to twice its value. So from here I see that P1 we can get the ratio of P1 is to P2, and that is basically, see I have corrected that, 5 by 3. So here basically gamma will be replaced by its value 5 by 3. So P1 by P2 will come out to be 32 from this equation. P1 by P2 will be equal to 32, 2 to the power 5. All right. So basically what we have done, we have equated the forces for balance condition, and then we have used the adiabatic equation to calculate the ratio of initial pressure and final pressure, and that has come out to be 32. All right, so you will use this equation and other written equations to find the final answer. So see, so after expansion, what was the balance condition? What was the force relation? So P2 into 4 pi r square, this was final pressure, and that final pressure multiplied by the effective area was the final force due to the pressure, final pressure, and then there will be sigma square upon 2 epsilon naught, right? Sigma square upon 2 epsilon naught, because electrostatic pressure is sigma square upon 2 epsilon naught. So I'll correct that. So I've used I'm using the already written equation. I'm just shifting the terms. So P2 from here comes out to be, I'll basically divide the RHS by 4 pi r square. 4 pi r square, so P2 will come out to be 2T by r minus of sigma square upon 2 epsilon naught. See, I am telling you that is sigma square. I will correct that, because the electrostatic pressure is sigma square upon 2 epsilon naught. Electrostatic pressure is sigma square upon 2 epsilon naught. Alright, and we already know the first equation that I wrote, P1 was equal to 4T by R. So let's say these two equations as 1 and 2, divide 2 by 1, we'll get the ratio P1 by P2, and that will be 4T by R by 2T by R minus sigma square upon 2 epsilon naught, I'm again repeating that I have left a square there, that will be sigma square. You must be knowing that electrostatic pressure is sigma square upon 2 epsilon naught. Alright, and we all also know that P1 by P2 is equal to 32. So let's do the maths. 2 epsilon naught R, and what will come in the numerator? So basically 4T epsilon naught minus sigma R, and that will be sigma square R. Alright, so 32 gets cancelled by 4, R gets cancelled in the denominator. So what we are left with? We are left with 2T epsilon naught by 4T epsilon naught minus sigma square R. We'll cross multiply here. What we'll get? 32T epsilon naught minus 8 sigma R is equal to 2T epsilon naught, that is 8 sigma square R basically. So what comes out? 8 sigma R is equal to 30T epsilon naught. Let's solve it a bit further. So what we are getting here? We are getting sigma square is equal to, see, now I will correct everywhere there will be sigma square, alright, because electrostatic pressure is sigma square upon 2 epsilon naught. So everywhere where I have written sigma, there will be a sigma square. So sigma square comes out to be 50T epsilon naught by 4R. So sigma finally comes out to be under root 50 epsilon naught T by 4R. So you can match it up with the like the final answer given in the question. So n comes out to be 4. So this was a very bright question. Lots of concepts involved. Thermodynamics was connected to electrostats was connected to this concept of surface tension and excess pressure. So you can hope these kind of questions will only come in your advanced and mains. They never ask you a question based on a single chapter. Now the trend is they use multiple chapters and create a question. So I'm sure that this question will help you in a better revision. Alright, so stay tuned.